Welcome to the 888 Poker Nations Cup, where 6 teams will battle it out for a first prize of $100,000. I'm Jesse May. With me tonight in the commentary box is poker personality and serial tournament winner Barney Boatman. Evening, Barney.
Was that surreal tournament winner, Jesse?
Let's start by having a look at the players representing each nation. I really like this Danish team. Martin Wendt has put together a powerhouse side.
Yes, with Jan Sorensen, who's been around forever, and Rene Peterson, who's come from nowhere to win one of the biggest tournaments in the world. They really are a tough team, Jesse.
Germany might be the underdogs here, but I haven't seen a lot of these players except, of course, Michael Kiner.
Well, you never underestimate the Germans in any sporting event, Jesse. And with Andres Krauser as well, a very experienced tournament player, I like their chances.
Great Britain, well, they're the favorites. Strong side, home hosts, and with Vaswani, Devilfish, Gardner, what more can you say?
That's right, a very tough team. And one of the interesting things, Jesse, is they've all performed in this format, which for me makes them the favourites in the event.
Ireland has a lot of experience in this format as well, but they're the wild cards here, although they have a world champion.
They really are. Yes, they've got Noel Furlong, but they really are a strong side. Scott Gray been in the World Series final, so is Porrick Parkinson. I expect them to do very well.
Oldest player in the Swedish side, 23 years of age. No, I'm joking, of course, but they're young, they're strong, they're focused.
That's right, they've got Erik Sagström, the first man to make his name on the internet big time, with Bengt on it as well, who's come into poker the same way. They really are going to be fearless, Jesse.
And over from the other side of the pond is the USA. Everyone wants to beat. Do they have badges on their shoulders?
Well, you could never pick a weak side from the USA, and Robert Williamson certainly has not done that. Andy Block, very, very strong player. Thomas Keller, fearsome player. And 2 of the great women players, Cloney Gowan and Kathy Liebert, they're going to be there at the death.
So that's how they line up. Let's have a look at how the tournament works. The teams play 6 heats with 1 member of each team competing in each. Players score points for their team depending on their finishing position. 10 points for the heat winner, down to 1 point for the first player eliminated. At the end of the 6 heats, the total points accumulated by each team will determine how many chips that team begins the final with. The final is a tag game where the team captains will substitute players as the game progresses. Now the winners of the final take home $100,000 and the trophy. All to play for, so let's find out from the team captains who they've selected to play this very important first heat.
Team USA's got Andy Block going out for him today. He was well rested and he felt like he really wanted to play, and we got last pick. So I got to see the other teams pick their strong players. We wanted to put one of our best players out there first.
I chose Porrick Parkinson to play in the first heat for Ireland, as he is probably our most aggressive player. And I reckon he's going to finish in the first 3, come hell or high water.
I took Christoph Haller from Germany today because he is able to be very aggressive in the early stages. And when I saw the Swedish and the Danish players, I knew he is be able to handle them.
Because of the drawing today, we were the first to pick a player, and the rest can pick out from that player. So I put one of the guys with most experience for the Danish team in, to Jørgensen.
Put Scott Griffiths in today for the Great Britain team because there's less pressure on him playing first. I mean, if he was behind on points, there'd be a lot of pressure on the guy. So I just told him to enjoy himself and do his best, and hopefully he'll come through.
I picked Erik Sagström to play for the Swedish team today, or actually he picked himself, because we really don't care about who we play against, because we're the best team and we're going to win anyway.
Thomas Kremser from the International Poker Federation is our tournament referee. Marina Kremser and Stevie are the dealers. Game on here at the 888 Poker Nations Cup. We're aglow and a glitter. And Barney, any surprises in the selections? Looks like most of the teams have gone with their big guns off the bat.
That's right. I think that Dave Ulliott has made a very canny move. He's thrown the internet qualifier, Griffiths, straight in there. He doesn't want him to hang about and watch all the other heats and get nervous. And he's put him in against some of the big guns. If he does well, then the British team are going to be off to a flyer.
Well, any indication about strategies here? Porrick Parkinson has raised the very first hand with King 6 suited. And now cold called on the button from Theo Jorgensen.
Well, that's interesting. He's obviously looking for a low flop. He wants to catch Parkinson, but if an ace comes down and Porrick represents it, what's Jorgensen going to do?
And Erik Sagström in the big blind is in as well. He's got the ace-9. Here's the flop. 3-way, and it looks like Erik Sagström, the Swede, has hit this.
Well, he checks expecting someone to represent it, the Razor, but they're all too canny early on.
Check.
And nobody wants to get out of line, but now here comes Parkinson.
Bet 600.
Not surprising that he bet. It was checked to him twice. He was the Razor.
Pass.
Now, of course, if Jurgensen had re-raised before the flop, he would have taken this, but Eric now, he's going to stay with his ace.
Call.
600 bet and called, and Sagstrom's induced a bluff. He's done very well here. I think he's got Ireland in tough shape.
Check, check.
Yeah, he doesn't like his kick out. He's checked down on the end. He probably got the maximum there the way he played it, and you can't blame Parkinson for having a stab on the turn there. But the story of that hand is if Jurgensen had re-raised before the bluff, he would have taken that one away, Jesse.
Sweden off to a very strong start here. Eric 1, 2, 3 they call him, and Sweden's on fire.
The action starts with each player receiving 2 cards face down from the dealer. The 2 players to the immediate left of the dealer post the blinds. They can call, or raise, or they can fold. Once this round of betting is over, the dealer reveals the flop. 3 community cards dealt in the middle of the table. More betting follows, then comes a 4th card, the turn card, and the 5th card, known as the river. Players must make the best 5-card poker hand using the 7 cards available.
Players beginning this game, of course, with 5,000 in tournament chips. Blinds at 25 and 50. Great Britain on the button. That is Scott Griffiths, the internet qualifier.
Yes, this is going to give him a chance to settle into the game. He's not going to be doing anything hasty.
Pass. Pass.
Folded around now to Jurgensen.
Jurgensen just limped in last time with the 9s behind the raise. Now
Raise
he's
to 150.
choosing to attack in late position.
Wow, these players aren't hanging about at all. It must be those points they want to get for their team. Big premium placed on getting first. That's 10 points for your team. And Griffiths has called here, Barney, with the 9-10 suited.
Yeah, he's got position. He's got a nice hand to see a flop. I like to see that he's not afraid to get involved early on with position, even against the most aggressive player on the table. That bodes well.
Yeah, but I only live around the corner.
Head up now. They've both missed. And the Dane...
Well, this is a raiser's flop, and I think this will be the end of this one.
300.
Griffiths has got position, but he's actually losing.
Griffiths knows that Jurgensen's likely to represent this flop. He has got the gut shot and the backdoor flush, but really he's playing the man, and I like this call. If he's going to take it away on the turn, I like it a lot.
I think the question is, can the Dane fire a second bullet?
I don't think he can. I think he's expecting the internet qualifier to be a tight player, expecting him to have a hand, and if he can fire here, well, is he just waiting for the gut shot?
It's gone check, check. There's over $1,000 in this pot, and Jack High is the best right now.
Well, Griffiths can't win without a bet, and he knows that. He relinquished the initiative on the turn, but he can still take this.
Check.
He's checked. They both bugged it on the river, and Jack High will take it. Jurgensen forced to show the hand from Denmark, but he'll have the consolation of getting the pot. And Griffiths, does he feel like he let one get away, Barney?
Yes, I mean, I thought he was calling maybe to steal if he got a check on the turn, but he was actually just looking to improve. Really, you can't play to hit cards in this game, Jesse. You've got to play the players.
What I'm open to seeing Scott Griffiths as a player is aggression. If he hasn't got aggression, he can't win. I said, there's no point sitting there and playing tight and playing like a lamb and, managing to, get into 5th place or 4th place. You've got to win it. I said, so you've got to be aggressive. If you're not aggressive, you cannot win. So, aggression is the main thing in all the mid-hold'em. So we've thrown him into the Lions then, and let's hope he comes out alive, eh?
So a nice start by the Scandies here. Of course, all their teams watching them on from the green room, and you can bet that Sweden, Denmark going wild right now with these strong starts.
That's right. I expect to see a lot of fireworks between Jurgensen from Denmark and Sagstrom from Sweden, the 2 most aggressive players here, and they've both got off to a good start.
Most of these Scandinavians, of course, well known on the internet, but Jurgensen has had a lot of success live. He, of course, just made the final in the EPT. He won the 7 stud championships in Baden-Baden. Big player, and limp in here now, a raise from Griffiths.
Almost panic there, only getting 1 card.
Go hazard.
Down there.
Call.
You must have an absolute monster.
Griffiths playing this 9-10 suited strong.
Yeah, I think the raise from Scott Griffiths was only up to 100.
Yeah, she's just doubled it. That's not going to get rid of anybody.
5 players. Check. Check. Check.
Well, Griffiths
100.
quite rightly representing the ace.
Pass.
As we know, Andy Block
Oh, sorry,
has a huge, huge hand.
Two pair for Block
Raise to 300.
from the small
Pass.
blind, and he's just tickled it a little bit. That might get rid of Griffiths,
Pass.
although an 8 would fit the Great Britain player nicely.
Probably a little bit too expensive to get involved, but he's once again he's calling to hit a gut shot. If he hits, we could see a huge pot. Andy obviously putting him on an ace.
Pot up to 1,000, and USA will make Scott Griffiths pay here.
Yeah, Andy
That's
obviously
600.
thinks that the British player has got more than he has got.
Pass.
So first blood there from the USA, and they'll be going wild in the green room right now. The American team, of course, out in force cheering on their man. Cards coming out now. There has been no shortage of action so far. Ireland will be on the button here, 25 and 50, which puts first action on Great Britain.
Raise to 100.
He's found an ace 10, which short-handed is some kind of a
Raise
hand.
to 300.
But when Sagstrom raises in second position, you've got to think the ace 10 is going to be dominated, Jesse, and so it is. Ace jack suited.
Yeah, it was double the bet by Griffiths, triple re-raise by Eric Sagstrom. And is Griffiths in over his head here, Barney?
He is a little. He's now found himself out of position with a dominated hand. He doesn't know where he is. His best hope really is probably to completely miss and give it up.
Or hit a 10, but it's Sagstrom. The Swede has hit top pair, and Great Britain nearly drawing dead at this stage.
He's got the heart to represent.
675 in the pot.
I think Eric's going to end this one quickly and cleanly, Jesse.
Bet 600. Pass.
Eric Sagstrom has entered 2 and won 2. And they said that the Swedes were one of the favorites in this event. They're showing why they really let off with their big guns.
Eric Sagstrom, who was a former table tennis champion, a big sportsman as well, but probably the first player to come across as a big name on the internet and move across and become a big name on the circuit as well.
Welcome back to the first heat of the 888 Poker Nations Cup. Well, your chip leader at this stage is Sweden. It'll be Denmark on the button, which puts Sweden in the big blind. And you can see Andy Block from USA not too far behind in the chip standings, folded around here.
Pass.
Of course, nobody wants to be first to go, Barney. They need those points for their team.
Raise to
Very
150.
different strategy here than in the standard one table, all to play for your nation.
That's right, it makes every difference because those points translate to chips in the final. But Jørgensen, not surprisingly, raising on the button and finds himself absolutely dominated by Sagström if the diamonds were to come down. As it happens, only a gut shot for Sagström, and Jørgensen, with the initiative, may well bet this one.
This is where we really get to see what Jørgensen is made of. He's got a 6 high.
That's 200.
He's got one of the toughest players in the world in the big blind, and yet he fires it out.
Well, it's a compulsory bet, and Eric knows that. Sagström with naught but a gut shot, but if he figures out that Jørgensen is on a steal here, he may well want to have a look. No, it's too early for that.
Pass.
He gives him a better hand. Not surprisingly, nothing but king high and a gut shot. Most players throw that one away, Jesse.
Well, Jørgensen, there will be several players who would not have moved a chip with the hands he's had so far tonight, Barney, but it hasn't stopped him, and he's been rewarded. He's about 400 ahead of where he started in chips. There's 28 points available in each heat. Those will translate to chips at that final tag table. So really, everyone wants to get in those top 3 spots, 5, 7, and 10 points.
Pass. 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 Pass.
It's folded around now to the small blind.
Call.
And Block just limping in to Ireland's big blind. Parkinson checks it. And 6 would create some fireworks.
Yeah, that's 6 dominated, but that's not a bad flop because there's the gut shot there.
Bet 50. Call.
A little tickle from Block with the gut shot.
And there it is, and that is an absolute cold deck because Andy Block has got the straight to the 6 and Parkinson to the 7. Only the hearts might slow things down, and Parkinson with the 6 of hearts as well. He's got everything covered.
It's just gone check call on the turn. And how deep will Parkinson go now on the river?
Bet 1,000.
He's bet 1,000.
Call.
Good play by Block because he knows that if he raises, he's only going to get action from a hand that's beating him. And maybe the hearts slow things down a bit there. Could have been a lot worse.
Ireland has won the hand, but USA can feel lucky to have any chips left, Barney. Inexperienced players could have found the USA going out right there.
Certainly could have lost a lot more chips. No one did anything wrong there, and really that was the first time that we saw 2 big hands up against the cover, Jesse.
What's marvellous about this event is that, you know, normally poker is a very individual event, I mean, and you live or die by what you do. But this one is a team, and there's a complete buzz around the whole thing. But the scary bit is that, you know, you can play for, you know, a multi-million-dollar tournament, and, you know, I'm not being blasé about it, but I mean, you get so used to doing it that it's not any pressure. And here, like, we're playing for, like, I think 100,000 for the team, and everybody's nervous because nobody wants to be the guy that let the team down. So they decided I was most likely to let the team down, so I went first. You learn something new every day. And here's one we burnt earlier.
It'll be first action on Great Britain, and Scott Griffiths has managed to settle the boat a little bit from his rocky start. I think, does he have to just take it on himself, Barney, that, you know, just to hang in there can be points for your team?
Jesse, you know, it's fair enough. He tried something early on. He tried to get involved in a lot of pots, hit some flops. It didn't work, so now he's just put his foot on the brake a bit. He's going to wait and see what happens.
The raise has been from Ireland. Parkinson with the ace-5, and Haller straight in there in the small blind. We've got a 3-way pot here between Ireland, Germany, and Denmark. And it is Ireland who's hit the ace. They've all hit a bit of something except for Jørgensen. Haller with the pair of 9s. 3 aces now for Ireland.
What a great card. And he's induced a bet out of Haller, and that's not easy to do, but Haller wants to find out if his 9 is good. He's going to find out the hard way, Jesse.
Call.
What a beautiful card that second ace was for him. He knows he's safe. And now, Haller, if his 9 wasn't good, how about the jack? I guess it's the same thing. I mean, if the 9's got no good, the jack's no good either.
500 is bet. Parkinson with the 3 aces. Is it small enough to induce a call?
I don't know. There's nothing that he can beat apart from a bluff here. The flush has come, a cut shot straight has come, that's irrelevant. But if Parkinson, he's got to have at least a queen, he's thinking here. I think Haller's good enough to throw this away.
He is. Classy laydown from Germany, and Ireland takes another pot. That will put Parkinson from Ireland very close to the chip lead. Christoph Haller from Germany on the button this hand. He's really done nothing wrong, hasn't picked up any pots, but he's a bit below his starting stack.
Pass.
Around to Ireland here, who's just limped in
Pass.
with the ace-9 suited behind the button.
Check.
We've got small blind, big blind, three-way pot here. Denmark, Great Britain, and Ireland. That looks like a blind flop.
Check.
In fact, it's given Jurgensen middle pair.
Check. Bet 100.
$100 bet by Ireland with absolutely nothing. Jurgensen's in the lead. Does he know where he's at, Barney?
2 players.
Well, he knows enough to know not to put that down at the first time of asking. And that's quite a dangerous looking card. I don't think, well, he thought about following through. He thought better of it.
A 5 would give both players a straight.
Oh.
The ace has made Parkinson the winner. But a bluff here by Jurgensen could take it.
Well, he knows the ace is a scary card.
200.
I think a lot of respect between these two players here, Barney. They do not want to make a mistake. And a nice laydown by Jurgensen. I think Parkinson from Ireland has taken about 3 in a row. And he's really rocketing to the top.
Well, it fell a bit fortunate for him there. He tried to take it on the flop. Jurgensen knew enough to call with middle pair. And it was checked on the turn. Borek got there. But Jurgensen, he should have taken control of that pot on the turn if he wanted to win it, Jesse.
Patrick has always been, he's a great player all down to the years. He played a very strong game. Every tournament he's in, he's well respected and well feared. You know, Patrick is a strong, aggressive player, so everybody knows when they take Patrick on, it could be their final hand.
Well, that's the beauty of this game. And it's the beauty of this Poker Nations Cup, Jesse, that the players are always at each other's throats, have got a chance to play together as teams, and that's really brought a great new element into poker.
It is the buzz in the green room. The buzz in this tournament is huge. USA on the button. Denmark, Jurgensen under the gun here.
Griffiths back to his old habits. This raise is not big enough and the hand not good enough. But he wants to see a flop. He doesn't want to pay too much. He's getting caught between two minds, says Griffith. And Haller with a hand that dominates the Queen 6. Haller's the one with a diamond in his hand. He knows that's not a raiser's flop, and I think he's going to take it cleanly here.
Bet is 200. But
call.
Griffiths can only be calling the bluff on the turn here,
Well, what
Barney.
an extraordinary call. He's got absolutely none of this. And now he's got himself a straight. What a perfect card for Griffiths. And I think Haller doesn't know where he is, but he's probably putting Griffiths on a big diamond. Actually, he's hit the absolute joker, and this is really going to change things. If he takes this pot away, which I think he will, that's going to really settle Griffiths' nerves. But I've got to say, a little bit fortunate to hit that card. Offsuit 5, a perfect card.
Well, this pot is over 900, and this could go from Great Britain having a train wreck to being right back on the rails. He is, of course, the only online qualifier here, but Barney, he got through about 500 players to get here, so he clearly has been doing something right.
I've never done anything like this before. It's only the tournament that I've won to get here that I've played. I normally play little $3 tournaments online. I've only played for 4 months, and that's it. This is just, you know, I'm shaking now, just being here.
Each player beginning, of course, with 5,000 in chips. The green chips, 25 each, black 100 apiece, and the browns worth 500. Total of 30,000 in chips on the table. Tournament director Thomas Kremser has announced blinds have been raised second level now of 5,100. That'll just inch up the action a little bit, and already a big raise here by Sweden. Sagström 350 with the ace duckling.
I don't like these rag aces. Andy Block coming behind with a hand he wants to have a look at.
Two cold calls. It's Parkinson on the button.
Well, well, well. I'm very surprised by the flat call by Parkinson there, but he's really setting a trap if it works. But with Block calling in the middle, you would have expected a raise, and that's very unfortunate for Parkinson because Sagström's hit his ace.
And he has a straight draw as well. Now he's checked it. He's going to let everybody get stuck in, and it's Block who comes out firing.
Well, that's extraordinary. Lets Parkinson off the hook, but he's going to hear from Sagström, who may even raise this.
Call.
No, he's hoping to catch his kicker or his gut shot.
USA has created a big pot. They're drawing dead, but the bluff still and always an option.
Well, will he follow through? He knows that Sagström's called with something. I think the better part of valor is to give this one up. And look at that. The kicker hit. I'm not sure if he knows whether he wanted to hit that or not. But he certainly won't be giving it up for a bet.
He's got a decision here. Does he want to try and bet for value or induce the bluff?
He's going for the value bet. And that'll be the end of that one, Jesse.
If Block can find the bottle to move in here, it'll certainly be exciting, but I don't know if it'll be successful.
No, that's a very scary card for Block. Even if Sagström was at it, he can have a straight now. He knows he must at least have the aces. Block tried it. It was a nice try, especially with 3 players in the pot. Very interesting attempt at a bluff by Block. And of course, if no one had had an ace, it certainly would have worked.
Another strong pot for Sweden. Unorthodox raise. Ace deuce makes 2 pair, and that will really leapfrog Eric Sagström to the top of this field. He's got 50% more than he started with.
This event is very special because you get to represent your country, which you usually do not do when you play poker. I mean, it's a very individual sport, so this is kind of the first time that you represent your country, and that's very nice.
We've all officially scored.
6 players at this 888 Poker Nations Cup heat. It's Germany on the button, which puts first action
Raise to 350.
on Sweden's second raise in the row, but Sagström's found a real hand here, and he's trying to run over this table.
Of course, they don't know what he had last time. But Griffiths has come in for a call, and he is once again dominated by a player who's got position on him. And